time, if he can just have the temerity and the patience to listen to me, educate him a bit, just a bit. I may not have the ability to educate him on everything. But Honorable Speaker, I was talking about the price of crude oil. We do not import crude oil into this country. We import refined product or processed product, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, if we have seen refineries being bombed, what does that tell you in simple economics, in the law of demand and supply, Honorable Speaker? We have been told, Honorable Speaker, oh, the price of oil in Ethiopia is much lower. I must thank Citizen TV and the journalist called Alex Chamwada. They did a very good piece showing us as the people of Kenya how fortunate we are that we entered into the G2G arrangement. That ensures today we are not short of supply. Honorable Speaker, if we wanted to be populist, it is very easy. Cut down the supply of diesel, for instance. If you are consuming 2 million liters of diesel in a day, cut it by half. Use what we have been told as a fuel subsidy. You have so many billions of subsidy. Use that money to subsidize a lower supply of fuel. And that is what many people are doing today. That is why you will see queues and queues, long queues of vehicles.
What is out of
Because
order?
they are chasing a smaller amount of product.
Honorable Nyoro, what is out of order?
My point of order, Honorable Speaker, is on the honesty that we need to debate, to have in this debate. That you are very quick to give examples of Ethiopia and Burundi when it's convenient. Why can't we use the examples that are there of a country like Uganda,
Member
which
for
transports
Keharu.
fuel through Kenya?
Order. Member for Keharu, I had Honorable Karoli give examples, and there are points of debates. Allow members to give examples as they deem fit to fit their submission.
Speaker, thank you again, Honorable Speaker. I told you these people have no patience because the truth at times becomes very bitter and painful. But let me take you to Uganda, Honorable Speaker, because that is the point I was on. It is possible for us, if you wanted to be populist today, to cut down the supply of diesel, for instance, use the resources, because you subsidize fuel per liter. Therefore, if you are subsidizing, say, 2 million liters of diesel being consumed every day, just cut supply by half to 50%, then do what they are doing in some countries. Make the fuel very cheap, but unavailable. What does that do to our economy? Those are the questions we need to be asking ourselves as leaders. Because I can stand here, Honorable Speaker, and pontificate all manner of goodies and sweet nothings, but they will not help this economy. What we need to look at is how do we chew gum and scale the stairs at the same time, Honorable Speaker. And we must not look at this thing from a short-term perspective, Honorable Speaker. We must look at it in the short term, medium term, and long term. And long term, Honorable Speaker, is what government has done through the National Infrastructure Fund. We must begin devoting resources to ensure that we have adequate resources to generate power and transmit that power. So that what? So that we are able to move to e-mobility, the electric vehicles that we are talking about here. Because we move to e-mobility today, as Honorable KJ is telling me, but do we have the power to be able to charge these cars? That is why the National Infrastructure Fund, and I must thank President William Ruto. As much as all these people will shout at him, he has remained true to the cause and focused on what needs to be done to transform this country. And he has done that amidst all this noise and shouting and insults. But with the National Infrastructure Fund, we can develop adequate power to be able to have resources, power resources to charge our electric mobility sector. We must also look at long-term solutions on supply optionality. We have seen that war in one area can completely disrupt our economies. Therefore, we must have supply optionality to look at ways where we can get supplies, whether it's from West Africa or from other areas and other far-flung corners like the US also. But I also agree with Honorable Junet. I was speaking to my nephew last night, and he was telling me now fuel in the US is more expensive than in Kenya, despite them being an oil-producing country. And I don't want to mention Venezuela and what they did in Venezuela because they are a friendly nation.